Good afternoon. It's a time again for Wednesday Why. Um, this is my time to talk to you a little bit about what I do and hopefully help you guys figure out what your why is and how, when you have your why, the what and how are really not a problem. It makes it happen. Let me tell you a little bit more about what I do. My name is Evan Messman. I am the owner and founder of Pro Attitudes, which is a health, wellness, and mindset coaching business. What I do is I help people who are really successful at everything they do at the expense of their health. I'm the guy they talk to help get them back on track so they can really live the life they've always truly wanted to. I help you exercise what's called your attitude muscle, one action at a time. Today, what I wanted to do is to talk to you a little bit about some of the things that are actually preventing you from being successful. Our mindset is such an important part of our success or our roadblocks. And every day we wake up, we have scripts in our head that we listen to. And those scripts sometimes, what you're hearing are lies. And why are they? Because we really have three brains. There are three brains that we work with. We have the lizard brain, and that lizard brain is the one that says, stop. Are we safe? Do we need to run or do we need to fight? That's fight or flight response. And that lizard brain's been around. We've developed that, and it's in every person, but it's our low-level brain. That's why I call it the lizard brain. Then you've got that next level brain, which is the mammalian brain, being a mammal, right? Well, it's more emotional. It's dealing with those emotions. And I guess my question to you might be right now, can you think about the last time you actually had a reaction where you were feeling like what I call the primal state, where you were afraid that you were going to die, or you were afraid that something terrible was going to happen? It was either you had to fight or you had to run. Share that in the chat. It could have been at work. It could have been at home. It could have been a close call with a car. Could have been with an argument where you were in a store. A lot of these things happen all the time, but what's more important is that they happen more often than we might think. And that human design, that design by nature, it wasn't intended that we were constantly in this fight or flight state. So what happens is if we're in that fight or flight state all the time, we're getting depleted. We're depleting our body's stores because we're not really supposed to be doing that. We are supposed to finish fighting or running and then get safe, and then we relax. Above the lizard brain is that mammalian brain. That's where your emotions are. And a lot of times we'll make decisions based on our emotional state. And that's also, it's once you flip the switch where it says, I'm going to either fight or I'm going to run. Now your brain, if you know you're safe, the brain will then flip to the emotional side. And then that decision needs to be made on what emotions you're feeling and what you want to do with them. But the highest level brain, that third brain, is what I call the driver or the rider. If you think of the emotional brain as the elephant, but the driver is the one who's really steering. But the driver can't steer an elephant when an elephant's afraid. There's an awful lot of energy you can use, willpower. It can only work for so long. So when you're focused on that elephant in the room, okay, which is your emotions, what we want to do is to calm that part of your brain down. And the way that we do that is to get you out of your emotional state by taking you from in your head to into your body. There's a lot of different ways you can do it, but you can do it with your breath. Really simply, just breathing. Focusing on your breath, putting attention on the air going in and out through your nose. Just be aware of the actual feeling as you take a deep breath. Take a deep breath right now. What are you feeling when the air is coming in? You feel the coolness. You can feel the air tickling a little bit around your nostrils, and then that magic exchange is happening in your lungs. And then when you exhale through your nose, do you notice a difference? Do you notice the temperature is a little higher? Maybe the air is moister. When you're inhaling, do you feel all the parts of your chest expanding? Feel the muscles and the bone, even the bone, the cartilage, the lungs expanding, the diaphragm pulling down. When you do that for 2 or 3 breaths, you're getting out of your head. You're focusing on your inhales and your exhales. Label them, and it really takes you out of that emotional state. And that's really one of the key things to do, because when you get out of your primal state, you go into your power state. And that's where the magic happens. Being in your primal state is not a place you want to stay. But being in that power state is where we want to be, because that's where imagination is, that's where creativity is, that's where hope is, that's where awe and wonder, where you have your compelling vision, where passion sits. All of that sits in your power state. But the power state and the primal state can't happen at the same time. They actually occupy the same attention. So part of what we need to do is to realize once we get out of that primal state, we can go into our power state. If you'd like to learn more, let me know in the comments. I'd really appreciate that. And let me know give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this. That's a little bit of Finding Your Why on Wednesdays. I'm glad that you joined me. I'll see you next Wednesday at 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Thanks, and make it a great week. Remember, it's all about your attitude, and really change can be hard, but we want to make it easy. How do you do that? One choice at a time.